Did you know that just 50 years ago, Israel and Iran were secret allies? Not enemies, not rivals, but actual strategic partners. Today, they are on the brink of war with nuclear weapons, cyber attacks, proxy groups, and drones. But how did it get this bad? To understand the Israel Iran conflict today, we have to go back, way back. Chapter 1 Iran and Israel, the surprising alliance. Before 1979, Iran, ruled by Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, had warm, even covert ties with Israel. Why? Both feared Arab nationalism led by Egypt's Nasser, both worried about the Soviet Union's influence during the Cold War, and both needed strategic friends in the hostile neighborhood. So under the table, Israel trained Irani forces. Iran supplied oil to Israel. Israeli diplomats quietly operated out of Tehran. This was part of Israel's periphery doctrine, aligned with non-Arab Muslim countries like Turkey, Iran, Ethiopia to break out of isolation in the Arab world.
לנסוע לטהרן זה היה פתאום כמו איזה מיליונרי.
שיתוף הפעולה עם ישראל היה אדיר. מי לימד אותם חקלאות? מי הקים להם את כל הסכרים הכי גדולים? בנינו להם מדינה.
Chapter 2 Operation Ajax Seeds of Distrust. In 1953, a major turning point came, one that shaped Iran's distrust of West forever.
He said it makes no sense for our country to have all of these resources that other countries are becoming rich off of, and we get basically pennies in return. So that was one of the things that made him very popular within the country, is that in some ways he spoke truth to power, and he was willing to take that risk and to stand up to these powerful foreign countries. So he nationalized the oil in 1950 and basically kicked the British out.
Iran's Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh nationalized the Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, now BP. Britain and United States weren't happy. They launched Operation Ajax, a CIA MI6 coup that removed Mossadegh and reinstalled the Shah. To the Iranian people, this was betrayal. To the Shah and Israel, this was win for Western alignment. But underneath, resentment was brewing. Indian context. In 1953, India, under the so-called Great Nehru, was championing the non-alignment movement, watching Iran's Western tilt. Chapter 3 1979 The Islamic Revolution changes everything. Then came 1979. Ayatollah Khomeini returned from exile, the Shah fled, and a new Islamic Republic was born. This regime had one message: death to America, death to Israel. Iran cut ties with Israel, its embassy became the Palestinian embassy. Israel was now the little Satan. This was ideological, not political. Khomeini saw Israel as a Western outpost occupying Muslim land. Chapter 4 But then, Iran secretly took Israeli help. Ironically, in 1980s, Iran secretly accepted Israeli arms during the Iran-Iraq war. Why? Because Iraq's Saddam Hussein was the bigger threat. Israel even bombed the Iraq's Osirak nuclear reactor in 1981, indirectly helping Iran. In geopolitics, enemies sometimes help each other temporarily. This is the paradox of Iran-Israel conflict, driven by ideology but constantly bending to pragmatism. Chapter 5 From Cold Peace to Open Hatred. In 1990s, everything changed again. The Soviet Union collapsed, Iraq was weakened after the Gulf War, the external threat binding Israel and Iran disappeared. And so, old ideological tensions exploded into open rhetoric, intelligence wars, proxy groups, nuclear acceleration. Iran saw Israel as the biggest threat to Islamic sovereignty. Indian context. India during 90s liberation era was slow opening up to Israel formal relations in 1992 while still managing ties with Iran, a tightrope walk that continues to this day. Final chapter, what this means today. So what began as a strategic friendship turned into an ideological battlefield. Today, Iran and Israel are engaged in cyber warfare, conducting assassinations, testing missiles, backing proxy militias, and in the middle of this, India walking a razor's edge. Will history repeat itself, or can diplomacy rewrite the next chapter? Stay tuned in this series because we'll break down the nuclear program, the proxy war, the tech battle, the future of the global shadow war from an Indian lens. Subscribe, follow, and share this with someone who needs to know what's really happening behind the headlines.